Hey everybody, Max Rich here. And that was the beginning to Corazon Espinado by Carlos Santana. Well, at least the guitar work is by Carlos Santana. I don't know if he actually wrote the song, but let's face it, he's the one that made that thing really, really famous. I mean, those guitar licks are just like top class. Everybody knows them. You hear it and it's like, okay, I know what song we're dealing with here. Santana's just one of those guitar players that's got like an absolute signature sound. You hear Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know who it is. You hear Jimi Hendrix, you know who it is. You hear Carlos Santana, you know exactly who it is. He's one of those guys. He's not a chameleon player, you know. He's not a guy who sounds like this guy and like that guy, and he sounds like Santana. And this is a perfect example of licks and things that are built to sound exactly like him. And so today's lesson is going to be not just on the chords of the song, but also on those licks themselves. And we're going to do that, but we're also going to touch on playing the vocal melody to the song on guitar. And that's a really, really cool thing to do that doesn't get done often enough, I don't think. You know, a lot of times guitar players will quote a melody, maybe like in the middle of the solo or something. They'll like pull like a few notes out of the vocal melody and use it as their solo, as like sort of a launching point to go into something else. And that's part of the reason why I want to teach it to you, so that you know, oh, when it's time to solo, I can use these notes, pull from the vocal melody and kind of hint at it that way. But also, if you're improvising and you're saying like, okay, I'm going to play over the chords in the song and I'm going to play over them using a Santana style, right? And you kind of maybe fumble because you're improvising, right? I mean, like when you're improvising, you're not playing pre-planned licks. You're sort of just going with the flow. And sometimes that can get you into trouble. It happens a lot, you know, even to the best improvisers in the world. But what they do is, a lot of times they adjust by going back to something that everybody knows, and that's the vocal melody. So by learning how to play the vocal melody, and not just sing the vocal melody, you actually kind of cement your knowledge and foundation of the song in the guitar itself, so that you can always go back to it and always quote it and always play it in and out of the solo, and really understand the vocal melody and how it interacts with the chords on the guitar rather than as two separate things, voice and guitar. So we're going to do that, plus we're going to talk about that intro solo. I'm going to give you all the notes and licks and riffs and everything else to the song, so don't go anywhere. Corazon Espinado coming up right now.